Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Bobby82. In this video, we're going to be comparing the Glock 27 Gen 4 up against the Springfield Armory XD-40 Subcompact. Both of these guns have been safety checked. They are clear and they are safe. We're ready to go. Getting started, the first thing I will say is that neither one of these pistols is better than the other. Both of these pistols are exceptional concealed carry firearms. There are things that the Glock does better than the Springfield. There are things that the Springfield does better than the Glock. That's just the way it is. At the end of the day, it's not about Glock versus Springfield versus M&P versus SR9C or SRC or whatever. It's what you shoot the best. Don't just buy something because of what it is. Go out, shoot some guns, find the one that you shoot the best, and buy it. Get your concealed handgun permit and carry it. That's what it comes down to. But in this video, I'm going to be comparing from my mileage the Glock 27 Gen 4 to Springfield Armory XD-40 Subcompact. Going back in time, I owned a Gen 3 Glock 27. Had a good experience with it. Then I owned an M&P 40 Compact. Had an alright experience with it, and I'll get to the details. I own both of these firearms. Both of these are mine. I carry both of these. This one, you've seen the holster that I carry it in, the Glock Sport Combat modified for IWB using crossbreed snap lock belt clips and Loctite. This one, I have a holster on order. It's a Fox hybrid holster. When it gets here, I'll be doing a review on that. Just a couple basic technical specs between these two guns. The Glock has a 3.5-inch barrel. It's 9+1, 5.5-pound trigger, and of course this is the Gen 4, so it's got the I call it the RTF Mark 2.0 because it's abrasive, but it's not so abrasive that it rubs holes in your shirts. I know all about that. The Springfield XD, it has a 6.5-pound trigger. It has a 3-inch barrel, and it weighs 25.5 ounces unloaded with an empty mag. So as far as weight and size is concerned, the Glock is smaller. If you put them up on their butts, with which you can see that I can fit just about a thumb. We're going to put them sights to sights. You can see where the XD does have a slightly longer grip, but a lot of that has to do with the grip angle of the XD. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the magazines between the two firearms. And yes, I mark my mags so I don't get them confused with my 9mm mags. The Glock mag is more of a double stack mag than the Springfield, and upon looking at the guns, the grip, and I'm going to focus just so you can see this. The grips of the guns, physical width is about, I wish I had calipers. The physical width is about the same. But where the differences are is in the thickness of the polymer. This is going to be the first thing I'm going to get to in comparing the pistols. The polymer on the XD is thicker, where on the Glock I can take and I can collapse the mag well. I mean, I can't overly collapse it. I mean, I'm not going to break the damn thing, but I can collapse it. With the XD, yeah, you can hang it up. You're not collapsing that daggone polymer because it's very, very thick inside the Glocks like that. The Springfield is like that. I mean, the polymer on the Springfield is much, much thicker than the polymer on the, I think I said steel accidentally. The polymer on the Glock is not as thick as the polymer on the Springfield. You can look, now, I'm just going to make doubly sure that these guns, oh man, freaking slippery ass bastard, that both of these guns are clear chambered and empty mag wells. When you go up to the muzzle between the two guns, you can see where the polymer on the XD is much thicker. Damn it, let me focus this thing. Alright. You can see where the polymer on the XD is much thicker than the polymer on the Glock. That's not to say that the Glock's frame is going to fall apart, because it's not. Just the polymer and the chemical. I'm pretty sure the chemical makeup of the polymers between these two pistols is very, very similar. But the thickness of the polymer on the XD is much, much more substantial than the polymer on the Glock. When you go inside the pistols, clear, taking her down. I keep pulling the trigger when I pull a slide because I'm used to my 17 because it's got MY1 trigger return spring. The Springfield, rotate this up, hit the slide release, make sure she's unloaded, pull the trigger, put the slides off to the side, and we're going to compare the frames. Focus once more just to doubly sure. When you're looking at the frames of these two guns, you can physically see, not picking on the Glock, but the cam block assemblies, which one do you think is beefier? I love Glocks. I'm not so much a Glock fanboy, but it's pretty plain to see that which cam block assembly is beefier. Now, granted, fact, the Glock is the newer Glocks are 3-pin, but that pin basically doesn't do anything but support the slide release. These two pins, both of those, are beefy, and they both go through the cam block assembly. That's not to say the Glock's gonna fall apart, but I don't know about you, but I'm kind of burn it. I'm kind of old school, and you know what I can see is what I believe. So that is the internal components of the cam block assemblies for both guns. Going to the rear, now the Glock does actually kind of have an edge in the fact that it has steel rails incorporated into the polymer frame, whereas the XD, the rear guide rails are polymer, but they're very thick polymer. Just like I stated in my the dedicated XD review video, the rear rails, all they do is keep the slide aligned. That's all they do. They don't take any of the recoil abuse or anything like that. You can see where the sear setup between the guns is totally different. You know, both of these guns are built to take some abuse, but I'm sorry, but just from, you know, what my eyes can see, that cam block assembly in the XD, that's probably why the bore centerline height is so high, because of that. That's just the way they're designed. Going to the slides. Now, this is one area where the XD actually has a big leg up on the Glock. Let me put the frames aside so the camera can focus correctly. The XD has a hammer forged slide. The Glock is it's escaping me. It's a stainless steel slide. They're both very rugged. The Glocks, of course, you know, I've seen Glocks. A lot of the research I've done shows the it was 9mm Glocks going up past 200,000 rounds, and it started cracking in between the guide rod and the barrel. And this piece, the lower piece where the guide rod sits, would just blow off the front of the gun. The 40s, I don't know if they could last 200,000 rounds, just because that slide's moving a lot faster with a 40 than it is with a 9. The guide rods, comparing the two firearms, the guide rod in the Glock is plastic. This piece is steel, but the actual rod is plastic, whereas on the Springfield, it is all steel. Now you can see where they're designed a little bit different. I think the Glock, I think the spring might be a little bit of a heavier spring. I don't know. I mean, that slide comes back pretty hard. You can see the internals of the gun. The barrels, I mean, it's a barrel is a barrel is a barrel. You can see where the Glock has a slightly longer barrel. But I do believe that the Springfields have a fully supported chamber, whereas of course the Glocks do not. And the Glock, that's what it is. The Glock, damn it, the Glock uses polygonal rifling, whereas the XD just uses conventional rifling. The extractor on the Glock is an external extractor, whereas the XD, it is an internal unit. All these things, you know, pretty much don't. That's just the way the extractors are designed, the way the firing pins are designed. I can tell you that little groove right there. I guess that's what picks up the bullet. I mean, you can see how that's a lot more substantial than the Glock. Both of them work, but another thing about the XDs is that the center pin basically keeps the striker from slamming Light, please. Basically keeps the firing pin from slamming into the breech face, whereas the Glock, I mean, it's not gonna. I've never seen any reports on the Glock of the striker failing, but it doesn't have that. So, but okay, we're gonna go put these guns back together again, and we're gonna talk about accessories. And I've got the right barrel. Yep, that's the right barrel. I will give the Glock one thing. It goes back together a lot easier. The Gen4 is that little divot they put on the side of the trigger bar. The little divot they put on the side of the trigger. I hate those damn things. When I first got this pistol, I mean, my Gen3 27, the slide would just slide right on. This one slides right on right now only because it's the pistol's broke in. Putting the XD back together again. Turn this light off because we don't need it. And it's raining out. It's raining its butt off outside. XD back together again. That's lined up. Hit the grip safety. Put down. And it would work. Now we're going to talk about accessories. Now, this is where it goes towards the Glock. The Glock, the biggest advantage to having a Glock is accessories. And what I mean by that is mags. The ability to change the sights out yourself. This XD has factory installed night sights, which is a big plus. In my other video, I stated that if I wanted to sell this gun, I could probably sell it at a premium because it already has night sights on it. But the Glock, you can run as much. You can run the 22 round mags, with which do not come with extended base plates. If you put an extended base plate on the 22 round, it makes it a 23 round. There are Korean KCI makes, I think, a 31 round magazine for the 40. I have a 33 round KCI for my 27, and it's, I mean, it's Korean, but it works. The way mag prices are right now, yeah. But anyway, that's the advantage that the Glock has. With the XD, the full-size mag is 12 rounds. I think it's EPK sells extensions for the magazines for the XDs. But in the accessories department, it kind of leans towards the Glock. I know I love both these pistols, but facts are facts. The Glock, the magazine is you have much more magazine options with the Glock. Where the XD shines is that it has a rail. You can run a TLR3 on this gun. Springfield Armory, I think it was called it was made by Insight. It was called the XML. It was a 50 lumen xenon light that they sold. The light's been discontinued, but I can run a TLR3 or damn it, I can't think of the other light. But yeah, a TLR3 will fit on this gun because it's a compact light and it fits perfectly. A buddy of mine put one on his XD9 and I mean, it's perfect for this gun. Whereas the Glock, you're kind of Schitt's Creek without a paddle going backwards because it doesn't have a rail. But me personally, it's a concealed carry firearm. I'm not going to put this in inside the waistband holster with a light on it because it's just going to be too damn bulky. Lasers, I'm not very keen on lasers. I don't particularly care for lasers on handguns. If you want the best setup that you can get on a handgun, get night sights and a weapon light. I'm not particularly fond of lasers on handguns. I'm not particularly fond of lasers in general, for concealed carry, that is. But from a standpoint of shooting these two pistols, I'll be honest with you, I shoot the XD better. I can shoot each one well, rapid fire. They're both very controllable. But the XD for me, is the better shooter for me. The whole issue with the bore centerline height with the gun, to me, that's not an issue that causes more because if you're gonna sit there and say that the higher bore centerline height on an XD causes it to recoil more, then okay, that's fine. I could say that a CZ75 or a high power or a SIG or Beretta recoil more because the bore centerline height on those guns is higher. To a certain point, it's all in how the gun is balanced and how the gun is built and how the frame soaks up the recoil. In this gun, to me, I do not perceive any excess recoil over the G27. As a matter of fact, this gun to me shoots a little bit softer. Maybe that's because this is a heavier gun. I believe that might be the case, because this gun is 5.5 ounces heavier than the G27. I know some people are going to say, well, if you had to grab one, which one would you grab? Well, I got a bunch of mags for the Glock. I got 3 mags for the Springfield. So I mean, if I had to grab one pistol, I mean, of course I'm going to grab the Glock because I got more mags for it. But if I had more mags for the XD, I'd grab the XD. So that's not really fair to the XD because that's my fault. I just haven't bought the mags for it. As far as trigger companies that deal with performance enhancement parts for these pistols, the Springfield is you either have Powder River Precision or you have Springer Precision. With the Glock, good God, I don't even have time to name them all. Lone Wolf Distributors is a big one. They're probably the biggest. That and Glockmeister. But just like I said, speaking to the other competitor that's not on the table, which is the M&P40 Compact, the M&P is as far as ergonomics go, the M&P is in a league by itself. From ergonomics, the M&Ps are, I give them an A+. But from a standpoint of how expensive those mags are, to the fact that the stock triggers on the M&P they're just absolutely horrible. The review that I did on my M&P, I mean, I liked it, and it was I had put 600 rounds downrange in it, but I just could not get over the fact that there was absolutely no audible or tactile reset on the trigger whatsoever. And I'm sorry, but I'm not willing to spend upwards of $100 to do trigger work on the gun. My Glock 17 Gen 4 that I did a review on this. This has the NY1 3.5 setup in it, and I believe that cost me all of $27 to get it done. And if I wanted to take it a step further, I could polish the components for, hell, I don't know, a quarter. Let's just get some flits and some sandpaper and some microfiber cloth and just roll with it. The Springfield, I don't feel that I would need to do any trigger work to the Springfield. The take up between reset and break, that to me is not a big issue. I haven't had any issues with it. When I first got the gun, I had problems short shucking the trigger, but I worked myself out of that. But anyway, I really can't think of anything that makes one pistol better than the other. Just like I said, and I showed you, one pistol might do things better than the other, whereas the other also does things better than that one. So anyway, guys, this is Bobby 82. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all take care, and I'm out.